WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. It's discussions from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I'm Grandma Mo.
Lisa D. CT in Connecticut, done shoveling.
Done shoveling, yeah. That's a lot of snow you guys got.
Yeah.
Out here in California, it's balmy.
And in Miami, I should be in Miami with Unrivaled. It was 80 there. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, our weather, I don't think it's been, above 11.
Yeeks.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, the other night, I opened my door onto my deck thinking it was going to be chilly, and I was like, whoa. It was warm. It was like 50, 60 degrees. I was like, this is nice. I could leave the doors open for a little while here.
Must be nice. I opened the door. I opened the inside door, and we have like a porch with us. And it's bad when the snow comes in through the undercarriage of the slider. It just has a tiny little crack there, and it was a good inch and a half. I'm like, oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So
I don't miss that snow at all.
No, I know you don't. And you know what? It sucks. Yeah. It really does.
It was fun as a kid. I remember being thrilled as a kid, but as an adult, it sucks.
Yeah.
Having to drive in it and work in it and shovel it. It's like, no. And freeze in it.
Yeah.
I can remember my last year.
I do my hair and I'm like, nah, forget it. Not gonna happen.
Last year at Rhode Island, when I was playing there, we'd play, the gym was at the one end of the campus, and the fraternities where we would stay during the intersession were at the other end. And I can remember putting on like multiple layers. And by the time I got to the gym, my nose hairs had frozen. I had boots, I had sneakers and then boots over the sneakers. I had sweats on, then a full snowsuit thing, zipped up to here. And I just was like, I can remember shaking my head thinking, oh my God, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And then I happened to come on a vacation to California with a friend, and it was like, oh my God. The minute I landed in San Francisco, I was like, oh my God.
Year-round.
I just was like, I'm not going back there. And one of the biggest things is the humidity. There's no humidity here.
Yeah.
You don't get that, hot, sticky thing.
That's all we get.
Doesn't happen here.
That's all we get. You either get, well, we've been lucky with snow. This is, they're saying another go round maybe next weekend. We'll see. But, that's how we have it. It's either cold or it's humid.
You get maybe a couple weeks in spring and a couple weeks in fall. And then you're at one end of the spectrum or the other.
Yeah. Explain to me why I'm still living here. Getting out of Dodge soon. I'm moving.
I remember everybody thinking I was crazy when I left. Yeah, they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, it's way nicer. It's way nicer. Yeah. I mean, you pay a price to live here, but not all of California is LA either. A lot of people think LA is, that's what all of California is like. I live like, how long would it take me to drive to LA? About 10 hours.
I was going to say 6. Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, I live very far from LA. It's 5 hours to San Francisco from here.
Yeah.
I'm closer to Oregon, but you still get the, anything west of the Rockies, and you get that nice dry air, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, people are afraid of earthquakes, but I haven't felt an earthquake in a long time.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's over in a couple seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have
a couple seconds.
They're small. You don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought it was a truck going by.
Yeah, look, pretty much. It's what it's like. The bigger ones, the ones that are in the 5s, those you feel.
Yeah.
And then, being out on the coast here, the San Andreas Fault is right out in the ocean, right in front of like where I live. And then it meets up with another fault line up near Eureka. So you'll get a lot of activity between those two faults, and you'll get like 2s or 3s. There was one time I'm like sitting in my living room, and I thought a friggin' freight train was coming down the coast. Wow. You could hear the earthquake coming.
Wow.
Because it was bouncing around all the rocks and everything on the cliffs on the shore. And it was just this like, oh, You
Oh,
could
that's
hear like
crazy.
that. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, what was that? But it was the earthquake coming down the shoreline. And
Did
it
the
only
dogs
happened once. I only
did the
felt that
dogs
once.
sense that? Did the dogs sense that?
I have one that I have figured out. One of my dogs will she she will alert. She gives me about 3 seconds before we feel an earthquake.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what she was doing at first. But she'll get up and she'll come right at me.
Yeah.
She'll go whoo, and then she comes right at me, and then the
Oh,
earthquake hits, and
oh God.
it's so I've now that I know what she's doing, I'll but it doesn't. I mean, it's over just as fast most of the time. I mean,
Yeah.
a bigger one. We had a six a couple of years ago, and it lasted for. I was driving at the time, and you could see the telephone poles doing this.
Oh, geez. That's
And
crazy.
I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, a tree's gonna fall on
That's
me. I'm like,
crazy.
get out of here.
Yeah.
But and the whole car was doing this on the
They
road.
don't, you mean they
The
don't
whole
come
car was.
on with breaking news about that? Because
That
we
was a
had it
couple
with
years ago.
our weathermen got their arm sleeves up. It's gonna snow. They'd have every bit of coverage about the freaking snowstorm. I'm like, stop
Yeah,
already. I
just a
mean, just
snowstorm.
stop. It's weather. Look out the window. Okay, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
Okay, let it go. But
yeah,
yeah, no, they get a little frantic. I'd be a little more frantic over an earthquake than a snowstorm, for
yeah.
sure. You know what I
But
mean?
they still haven't figured out how to protect them, and
Yeah,
other than a couple of seconds, the
yeah,
the meters and gauges and stuff will see it coming, but
yeah,
it's only a couple seconds.
yeah.
And then you never know how long it's going to last. So
Right.
it's sometimes it'll just be like bip bip bip, and then other times you can't even feel them. But if you look on the geological website, you can see it's like there's all these all the time. They're
Yeah,
all the time, but they're just twos and threes where you can't feel them.
right.
When they get in the fours and fives, then you can start to feel them. And then,
Yeah.
of course, Loma Prieta, I felt that, and that was a 7-1 or 7-2, and that almost knocked me off my feet. I
Oh,
was
that's
at work.
crazy. Yeah,
It
that's
almost knocked
crazy.
me over. I went like this. I went,
Yeah.
and
It's
I
like
was
being on a
new to
bad cruise
California.
line. Yeah,
I was new to
yeah.
California. I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I like ran out of the building.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
like there's all the street lights were out and cars were like,
yeah,
and I was far away. I mean, that was down near Santa Cruz and I was in Marin. But I
yeah.
don't know.
You
That
get,
was that
I
was
think over
crazy.
the years, you just get numb from everything, you know? But, that's the beauty about Unrivaled is that it was nice there. They had no worries about earthquakes
Yep.
or any kind of snow shovels. And it was one hell of a week. And I thank
Yeah.
you for allowing me to take that one extra day
Yeah.
to
Well, we got to
shovel.
see two more games.
We did. And I didn't know that it was on early. I looked for next week. I think there's an early game on, is it Saturday? Maybe there's like a 4 o'clock game, but I didn't know that the games were on early. And I was watching the NFL, and then I was like, oh crap, now the games are over.
Yeah,
So I
next
didn't
week they're in
rewatch them.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
It's
That's going to be
interesting.
fun.
It's only going to be one day though. I'm looking at
Yeah,
the schedule. It's only one day. It's only the
yeah,
Friday games.
yeah.
And I think they're playing in a full arena.
Oh, fun.
I don't know if that's for real, but I think it's playing like in a real arena where you're
That
going to
is,
have
yeah,
10, 20,000 people.
that's
And they said
awesome.
it's a sellout. Um, yeah, today, Miami, Florida, 7:30 and 8:45. And then Friday in Philadelphia will be 7:30 and 8:45 Eastern
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's great. That's great. But
Yeah, the
I got to tell
Saturday
you,
games are
yeah,
four
I think
Saturday next Saturday is
four.
4:30 and 5:45.
Right. Do you know tomorrow will be halfway?
I know. I heard them mentioning that. I was like, "Oh my God, it's
Yeah,
halfway already?"
yeah, that's unreal.
It
Yeah,
is.
they're having fun. Some teams are totally gassed. I have to
Yeah.
admit. I'm like, a couple this particular week, there was one game that stuck out to me, but they were all good. Some of them were close, some of them were a blowout. And you're like, you could just see that they're tired.
Yeah. The second, the Friday and Saturday games are fine, but the Sunday and Monday games, you
Yeah.
can see they're tired. And it's
Oh,
funny because
100%.
I found myself going, "Oh, I wish it was more than 7-minute quarters." And then I thought, "Ooh, boy, they look tired on the second games of the weekend, but they're not getting, they're only getting 1 day rest. You can see why the 7-minute quarters are the way they are."
Right.
And
And some
yeah,
people go
just
out for like a minute and come back in. It's craziness. Who
I know.
plays, who plays the longest is usually Chelsea Gray is usually in the longest. I think
Her
the
and
other
Kelsey
day.
Plum have the longest. Let me look at
Yeah, the
I can actually look
times are
that up.
crazy. But yeah, we were talking. It's funny that you noticed it too. I had said, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, they're messing with Paige Beckers in her uniform, untucking them. Now
Yeah.
everybody's untucking everybody else's uniform.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah,
I saw that in the games. It was like they
yeah,
were messing with Veronica Burton, like
yeah,
Courtney Williams was pulling her short,
yeah,
pulling her, and Veronica Burton's going like, "Stop that!
yeah,
Stop that!"
yeah. Knock it
But it
off.
throws her off her game. So
Absolutely,
yeah, minutes.
absolutely.
Yeah, minutes. Chelsea Gray is averaging 22 minutes. So you have 7-minute quarters. That's 21 minutes
Yeah.
for the first three quarters, and then who knows how long the fourth is. So that's roughly the entire game that Chelsea Gray is playing. Marina Mabrey is right behind her with
Right behind her.
21.8. And then
Hmm.
Ryan Howard, she's been playing a lot for the vinyl. And then Paige is right behind her with 20 minutes. So you figure three quarters is 21 minutes.
Right. Paige is just, I mean, she's been incredible.
Yeah, she's been really good. Her
She's
and
been on.
Chelsea Gray is throwing up shots like how the hell is she making all those shots? Like you
I'm
just
telling you, this is her element. 3-on-3
yeah.
is her element. She is showing exactly who she is in this aspect, and
Yeah.
I'm there for it. I mean, I think they're in the lead, Rose, um, at this point of the game. I'm not quite sure if you
No, they're
told.
not.
Now who beat them?
The Laces have the best
Laces beat 'em
record.
out. Wow. Okay.
The Laces and the Mist both have 5 wins.
Because I know see, that was the last game. I was like, well, this is a blowout with the Laces and the Hive. I
Yeah.
mean, the Hive just couldn't get any rotation in that did anything.
Well,
And
the Hive, the games that Hive won, they keep starting Ezzy Malgalore, and Monique Billings is playing better than she is. And
mhm,
Monique Billings is better with the problem I see with the Hive is that Citron and Kelsey Mitchell are all playing 1-on-3
mhm.
instead of working together with their
Right,
team. And
right.
that's why they're losing. And that's also why the Lunar Owls are losing because
Yeah,
Mabry is hogging the ball too much.
I way too much.
It's like,
I
move
I
the
said that,
ball around.
I think last week. I'm like, enough already. Stop chucking it from more than half court. There's other
Yeah.
people on your team.
Yep. And Kelsey Plum is doing that same thing. Like she'll do it at times. Not all the time, but she'll do that too. But you like the Laces are 5-1, the Mist are 5-2, Breeze are 4-2, Roses 4-3, and the Phantom are 4-3. So and then you have Vinyl at 2-5, and then the Lunar Owls and Hive are 1-5.
Yeah.
So
I
and
know
then
it's the top.
tonight,
It's like the top six. Top six get in.
yeah.
And but I like the new uniforms that
Oh,
they
I'm
did.
loving that.
Did you like that? I was like,
Yeah,
boy, that's
every game they have a new color and like the Phantom was in this bright Kelly
green.
green.
Yeah, it was
And I was
like
like,
it was nice.
what is that? And then
And
there was the Mist had a really nice uniform that kind of was like started out as like a white on the top
yeah, it
and
got
it kind of
darker.
faded into the blue and
And
it
look
got
at
darker
us,
as the further you went down. That was nice. I like that.
fashionistas. You got a gown in front of me. I don't give two craps, but a new uniform,
Oh yeah.
connect. Like, oh, look at that. Don't they have, the L for laces on the side? And somebody
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, look that, that they've had on the shorts." And Lisa Leslie's like, yeah, that's L for Lisa. And I'm like,
It's
try.
like that's a Laverne and Shirley thing. Remember
Laverne and
Laverne and
Shirley
Shirley?
thing.
She had the L
Absolutely.
on everything.
I had a
It's
shirt
the
like that.
same L. It's the
Exactly.
same L.
Oh my God, it's incredible. So, each aspect changes a little bit, which is neat. and more people are going to, like, the players are going to watch, who's grabbing a regular camera to take photos of the game. It's
Yeah.
like it's been really something. And then the other night, to watch finally Malonga hit a dunk.
Dunk. Yeah.
Come
I'm
on.
surprised she doesn't do
That's
that
great.
more often. Like she can dunk easily.
The
It's like,
place went crazy.
yeah.
Everybody was happy. God, she made it look so damn easy.
Well, she's
Didn't
six
she?
six. That's easy.
My
You know, when I
God.
was in college, there was a guy on our men's team because they would be doing their foul shots and stuff at the end of their practice, and we'd be stretching and he'd just stand under the net and grab the net. He was 6'8". And
That's
he would
just
just grab the
unbelievable.
net, and when the guy that was shooting the foul shot, he'd just open it up and grab the ball and throw it back to him. I thought it was kind of lazy, but it was like, oh my God, I'm 5'6". I jumped to the point where his hand is,
Yeah,
and he only has to jump about a foot to be able to
yeah.
dunk.
She
Like,
got, I mean, she skied pretty good,
yeah, she
too, to
did.
get up there, but I was like, I was so happy for her. I mean, she just turned 20. She
Yeah,
she she's very proud to say that. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. She's not a teen anymore. She's now 20. And
right.
you can notice the changes in, like, Paige's body form,
Hmm.
Malonga's body form, now that they're getting into the routine of, weight training and what have you, totally started to change. The only person that I haven't seen would be like Cameron Brink. She's kind of tiny still. She
Yeah,
needs to
she's
bulk up a
skinny.
little bit. Yeah,
But
you know?
she is a shot blocker. And she jumps really high for someone who's she's 6'4", right? She
Yeah,
jumps really high
she's
for a
not as
six
tall
foot
as
four
Malanga.
person.
Yeah,
And she slots stuff.
wingspan. Yeah,
But when she was at Stanford, she would get in foul trouble all the time. So
yeah,
she's had to learn to not foul. So I'm
right.
looking at the Philadelphia thing. I'm trying to see if it's Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Wow.
For they're doing like a countdown. I'm trying to see how much it holds. Um,
Yeah, I saw it was sold out. I'm like, good for
yeah, it's
them.
sold out, but they don't say how many what the capacity is. Bag what's park
They'll
tickets
probably do
return?
more, I bet they'll do more destinations, next year, because well, I
Yeah,
don't know how they're all
they're
getting
planning
there.
on doing that,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
But they're
Um,
not planning on flying into Philly. Not with the snow.
well,
Well, next
next
week it
week the
should be
weather could
fine.
be drastically different.
Yeah, it should be fine. You know, I thought Stewie looked really good again this week.
Stewie is looking wonderful. It's
Yeah,
amazing. Like everybody
no
kind of
flag.
dismissed her. It's like all about Asia Wilson. I'm like, Brianna Stewart is like always in the MVP. Yes, she was. You could tell she was hurt last year because she just
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
herself.
100%. And you could tell the difference
Yeah.
of, and I appreciated her, look, we're fortunate to be able to say, hey, we're watching Unrivaled and what have you, but we're from the old school. We're not from shooting in the streets, we're dancing in the streets. And she actually came out with Abolish ICE
Oh yeah.
yesterday, which I was actually very glad to see. Takes a lot of guts. Women already get ridiculed just for playing the sport. Now she's going to get ridiculed for putting, stuff on TV. But, enough already. It's time
Well, it
for
seemed like she was getting, from what I was seeing of it, she was getting a lot of support because,
she does. It's always a guy. It's going to be the
yeah, I
guy, and I
know.
hate to say that, but it's always a guy that's either going to, you know, he's either going to ridicule somebody or the W stinks. Nobody likes Unrivaled, and I'm like, I looked at me and the money. They're on track for $40 million this year,
Yeah,
Unrivaled, which is
yeah,
up 48%.
yeah.
And now
And they
all the
made money
money.
they broke even last year.
So
So the investors and stuff and the players are part of the investment group. I mean, they're all, owners. So it's good for everybody. So I was looking as you were talking, and the Xfinity Center is 19,900.
wow, good for them. That's great. That's great for Philly. That's just, hopefully, um, everything turns out well,
Oh,
because
wait a
then
minute.
they'll
There's
have
one in
more places.
Massachusetts. Hold on. Apparently, there's one in Massachusetts.
What, an Xfinity Center?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
capacity for the one in Philadelphia is 21,000. It's where
so
the
it's
Sixers
more.
play.
So it's more. That's
So
great.
that's cool. Who knows how much they'll have. They may have some blocked off or whatever, but I can't
Yeah.
find anything saying how many, um, what the capacity is going to be for Unrivaled. Uh, limit amount. No, that's not it. There's nothing that says anything about what um, how much they're going to open the arena. But we'll find out next week,
Yeah.
so
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
it'd be like you don't want too many people because then everything will look like, although back in the day, that's how we saw concerts. Remember, you had to look up at the big screen because the person like Billy Joel was like the size of a ant, if you
Yeah.
looked directly, but you had to look at you still went. So it's going to be
I
the
did.
same thing.
I went to two in my life, and I felt the same way both times. And it was like, I'd much rather hear it on the radio at the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
or a cassette tape or a CD. It was much nicer it wasn't as, I just never was thrilled at going to a concert. It was
Yeah.
like too
Well, unless
much
you were
crap
somewhere
going
close.
on in the stands, and,
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
it's
What's
just like,
that?
oh, this is not fun.
What's that smell I'm smelling?
Yes, I was going
Nowadays
to
you
bring that up, and
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Absolutely. I did want to say that they're going and saying that the WNBA is tipping off May 8th,
yep,
and
I
the
saw a thing on
debut of
Facebook
they're
today.
like they're like sneaking that in. I'm like, "Look, you know, they're just going to keep negotiating and playing, I guess.
Well, they
You know.
have to. I mean, they can't not. Trying to see the post I saw here.
Oh, one other thing I was laughing at. And it might have been last week's game. We might have talked about. No, I think it was right after you and I met that the Lunar Owls they won against the Vinyl, and
Yeah,
Mabry and Williams get into it, which they're friends. I mean, that's
yeah,
just the way it is. But I'm
yeah.
like, Brittany Griner comes over to Courtney Williams and like holds on to her, and I'm like, oh my God, Courtney Williams looked like a little tiny Polly Pocket. I was like, and Courtney's like looking up at her like, what? It's just a game. We're just
Yeah,
playing a game. Relax,
yeah,
relax.
yeah.
Mabry actually, because she has so many crash outs, she started her own crash out jar
Oh
so
God.
that, and now, what's her name is going to join in. Skylar Diggins said I may have to be a part of the crash out jar. Say, he has a career, Skylar, after she plays. She's
Yeah,
very good on the microphone. I actually
yeah.
enjoyed her input.
She was good. She was
Yeah.
good. Aaliyah Boston's good at it too. She's been doing well. She's been on um, you know,
Well, she
the
has that
call.
podcast, so I thought, well,
Right.
but Skylar Diggins, I was like, wow,
Yeah,
very,
she was good.
it was good. She was very
Yeah.
informative, and I enjoyed that. I liked listening to Lisa Leslie too, because she's like, sweet baby Ray Burrell.
Yeah, she likes that
She
one.
loves his little
That's
nicknames.
she's been saying that for a couple of years now.
Yeah, and
She's
I
like whenever she talks about Ray Burrell. Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's a great time to shine in Unrivaled.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, I was going to do videos on it, and then I thought, you know what, I just want to watch this for fun, just like they're playing for fun.
Yeah.
And it's been, there's been a lot of close games. I mean, they end up maybe not so close. Like you look at Friday's games, you had the Mist 89-71, then the Phantom 78-69 over Vinyl. And then Saturday, Breeze won 75-68 over the Lunar Owls, and then the Hive got killed. But they were
Yeah.
doing that same thing. Like Kelsey Mitchell and Sonia Citron were just throwing up threes.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoever else was on the floor with them was like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And when they work together, those are the games they won. And then yesterday, the Vinyl and the Mist, that was a really good game. That one was
Yeah.
knockdown drag out. 76-71, the Mist get the win. And then the Rose, Chelsea Gray was just hitting everything. They get the win 84-74 over the Phantom. And the
I know.
Phantom, that game was close for a lot of the game. But the Rose pulled away. But between Chelsea Gray and Copper, they were just hitting everything. It
I
was
know.
crazy.
That was a great game too. But it was like, it's almost like when nothing really happens in a game, and I'm talking about like a little fiasco of some sort, which
Yeah,
seems to happen almost every game. It almost seems like they're just going about their business back and forth, and it ends up being a fairly close game. But they
yeah,
are competitive. Well,
yeah, they are.
you and I would be, it would be the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing,
Hell yeah.
you know? So it's like, I'd be looking at you going, what are you doing? Okay, now the tip off happens and, all bets are off.
Yeah. Did you see like some of the college stuff? Vanderbilt went up against South Carolina,
I did.
and
I did.
South Carolina took it to them. So now we only have one unbeaten team at UConn. And I've been watching UCLA. I was watching UCLA before we went on here. They played Northwestern, and they just, every single player on their team is in double figures. They're averaging double figures. There's nothing flashy. There's nothing, any one of them could go off for 20 points, 25 points, but you look at the score, and all of a sudden they're up by 25.
Right.
And I think they are second or third in point differential against these teams. But the difference is UCLA has played 9 top 25 teams, and they have
Right.
more on their schedule. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, if it comes down to the Final Four like it did last year, and UConn goes up against UCLA, the thing that UConn beat them at was that full court press. They weren't ready for
Right.
the full court press,
Right.
and but I think this year UCLA looks a lot better as far as everybody but Lauren Betts. And I was looking at the game, and Lauren Betts didn't really score that much, but she was getting like collapsed on, but then Jaquez would sneak behind her and go boop, and they she was getting these easy layups because there was so much focus on Lauren Betts
Right.
that she just would go boop, right here, and
Yeah.
she would make a cut to the basket and get an easy layup. I don't
Right.
know how many times that happened. But I mean, Northwestern was trying really hard, but they were, I don't, it was like 80-40, something like that. But you see UConn do that, but UConn's not playing, the Big East,
No,
like,
that's
unlike
exactly
before, it used to be filled with top 25 teams, but now, not so
right.
much.
No, I mean, they really haven't had a punch yet. They need to get that. I did see a lot of ridicule on Audie Crooks. She actually deleted her Instagram because people are just they're crucifying the poor kid. And you got to remember these they're young.
They're
On
20-year-old
the
kids.
fact
I
that
know.
she doesn't have good defense,
Oh,
which
she's terrible at
she's
defense, but
terrible.
that
You and
doesn't
I
mean
can
you
both say
beat her up
that.
about it.
Thank you. Then I agree 100%. I'm like, it's growing. That's what it's all about. I
Yeah.
mean, she'll learn, and but nobody needs to be you know, I don't know. I just social
I don't
media.
get that either. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I don't watch hockey. I used to love playing hockey as a kid, but I don't watch hockey. It's just not, I don't want to watch it.
Right.
And these days I'm not even that much into the NFL, but I'm not going to I'm not going to go on some site and go, oh, this sucks, like
I
you see
know.
these people doing them. Like, why are you here? If you don't like it, why would you waste your time making a comment? Does it make you feel
Exactly.
better or something? Like, it's
Exactly.
just, and it's always the men. Like, why
It's
are you doing this?
unnecessary. It's
It's
unnecessary. It's
completely
like, why are you
unnecessary.
commenting? Unless it's something either you're, having a value to the conversation of maybe something that you should change in some way. But to pick on kids, it's ridiculous. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, when you said hockey, I don't know if you remember Anne Murray, the singer. I was
Yes.
shocked to hear her say she has a couple of nieces who now play hockey in
Oh,
college.
wow.
And she was talking about how she only could play hockey on ponds, which I did
Yeah,
growing up.
I
And
did too.
there were no leagues. And
No.
how happy she is for these girls. She was like in tears, like
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get that. And I'm like,
I'd be
so
out there with the boys in figure skates playing ice hockey, and I
same
loved
thing with
it.
me. Same thing with
But I
me.
don't want to watch it on TV. It's like
No.
golf,
Yeah.
like golf, like car racing. But I'm not going to go on
You're,
somebody's
you're like
site
me. No, I know. And say,
or
this
watch
sucks.
cars going around in a circle. Like,
Yeah.
and my dad was into it. I'm like, Dad, like, what are you watching this for? He goes, Oh, I wait for the crashes. Really? Like,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're going to want somebody to get hurt.
Yeah.
It's I don't understand why you have to shit on, excuse my language, but on other what other people enjoy.
What
It's
other
like
people do.
that's why
I
there's
know.
so many options. There's something you like, go to that.
Right.
What are you sitting there crabbing about what other people like? Like, why do you got to
Right.
crap on it? It
And it's
doesn't
like
make any sense.
I want to almost reply, and it's like it's not even worth it where it's coming from. I mean, they're not going to get it. They're not going to
No, it's
understand.
like
So
take it with a grain of
it's
salt.
like
Yeah,
shut the hell up. Look where the money flow's coming from. That's all I have to say. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I mean, it's great for women. Stop trying to hold the sports industry down on women. It's great. They have baseball. The girls and women can play everything.
yeah.
Let them do their thing. It's their
In
turn.
the words
You
of
don't
Ruth
shit
Bader
on it.
Ginsburg, we would like our brethren not to have any special favor, but to just take their foots off our throats.
That's right.
I'll
Absolutely.
never forget when I
100%.
heard that. I was like, oh my God, she got it way back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like in the
Because
60s and early
remember,
70s, she
remember,
knew exactly, and she's a little tiny woman. And just like, look, we're not asking for anything special. We're not asking for the same thing you guys get. But we just want you to stop, you know, putting a lid on us. Like,
exactly.
let the lid off.
Exactly.
Like, and why do that in the first place? Were they afraid? Like afraid that, are they that insecure that they were afraid
Yes.
that the women might outperform them, even though
Yes.
they are biologically way, have so many advantages?
Yes.
Like, why can't we have fun like you? You got to put a lid on this stuff. Like,
Oh,
I
I know.
never understood that.
Wow.
And
Neither one of us.
we were in
Yeah.
the time where you couldn't even, I mean, you could try and fight against it, but I gave up after a while. It was like, okay, yeah, you're right. There was, I took such a pounding that it was like, okay, you're right. Yeah, you guys are better. Yeah, you guys make the money. Okay, fine. But, and you just get shut up about it and just went on your way. And
I see. I didn't. I was like they had a nickname for me from the. You remember Tanner from the Bad News Bears? He
oh,
was
yeah.
the, he was the littlest of the guys that always went after everybody just
Oh,
because
yeah.
anybody who said that was my nickname, Tanner.
Oh,
Because
really?
I was always hanging off some guy's neck because he, I had to open his mouth. And then, half the time the guys are like at the kid, at the guy that was trying to belittle me. Yeah. Now I
I
warrior
had that
like a
happen
skunk.
once. I had a guy trying to belittle me, and I remember we were playing 3-on-3 basketball, and some guy down the street's name, um, in his driveway, and this kid I don't know, he was jonesing to, I don't know, prove he could beat me up or something, which I knew I could, literally kill the kid if I wanted to, and I just was like, will you please stop? I'm trying to play basketball here. And he finally pushed me and I had enough. And boy, I left hooked him.
Yeah, it's all it takes. They shut
And
up
I
real
put
quick.
him down. I put him down on the ground. And all the other boys that were around me, which were all of them, they were all like, oh, hit him again, hit him again. I'm like, oh, he learned his lesson. Like,
Exactly.
and that taught me the difference between, you know, women and men. Men
Right.
will go for the throat. And
Yeah.
women are just like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, it never applies completely, of course.
I
But
made my point. That's what you say. I made my
yeah,
point, and there's nothing else I have to say about it.
yeah, I don't need to beat the kid up. I don't need to prove that I'm stronger than him. I just did with one
Yeah,
punch. And
exactly.
I don't need to do that. I have no desire in me to beat the crap out of this kid.
Right.
But they were like, I couldn't believe it. They were like
Yeah.
wolves.
Yeah. I
I
know.
went,
I've
Oh,
witnessed that myself a few times. Yeah. And then
like what are you doing?
there was always the infamous phone call. Your daughter punched my son, and my mother be like, you got to go and apologize to whoever, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah.
Play the next day, things cool, and
Yeah.
he would know, you know, you
Yeah.
could take it. Don't treat me like I'm dainty, but don't mess because
Yeah.
I'm not going to
But
hold
I
back.
always knew it would end. I mean, I always
Yeah,
kind of knew. I'm like, okay, I'm stronger than most of the boys until about 11th grade. And then
right.
11th grade, I saw them all go big, much bigger. And I was like, but I didn't have it in me to want to go after them. It was
Right,
like, I just wanted to play what they were doing. I wanted to
right.
be able to do what they were doing because that's
100%.
was my joy and that was what I was good at. And, I didn't. But there was so much that you had to deal with that it was just like, oh, come on.
And
Just,
and
I'm out here just like you. It doesn't matter if I remember there was one kid that was just like, why are you here? One of the guys he was kind of newer to the neighborhood and he was like, what are you doing here? You're a girl. And he goes, you don't belong here. And you could tell this is what his parents had told him. And I thought, I ignored it and, you know, it was just one of those things. But you would get that periodically over the
well,
period of time.
and that's the beauty of, I guess, the value of what we try to bring, which is we still enjoy sports.
Yeah.
We enjoy watching the growth of leagues and women and girls, that they should be included in whatever they want to do. That it has taken that long, unfortunately, that we
Yeah.
came from a generation that just didn't see the same value in us as they do in sports nowadays, that it's acceptable, that parents have now gotten with the flow, that it's okay for their daughters to be just as good, if not better, than their sons.
Yeah.
Period.
Or back them as much. And
Right.
I started to notice it. You started to notice dads, especially dads, like if they had an athletic daughter, like my dad didn't care. My dad was working all the time. He didn't even I remember the first game my dad ever came to. I was so shocked he was there. I played like crap. It was like the
Sure.
quarterfinals of high school. It was like my last high school game he showed up to, and I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
my dad's here. Like
yeah.
it threw me. And I was like, oh my God, like how did I let that throw me? And looking back on it, it was like one of those, I think I fouled out and just bad, 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 bad. Anyway, but it was like you started to see the dads get behind their daughters, like, hey, wait a minute here. My daughter's
Exactly.
pretty good. Let's and once that started to happen, it
Right.
got a little bit better and we got a little bit more, but it took that. Before then it was just like, that you could it's like I used to imagine that the men would have these conversations like, oh, talking about, their daughters or whatever. And it was like it was very uncool to have an athletic daughter until a point it was just kind of like, hey, no, you know, hey, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And we made it to my senior year, we made it to the quarterfinals of the state championship. And that was the best that North Haven had done to that point. And I thought, man, we should have won at least that last one. And it made it we would have lost in the semis, but boy, that quarterfinal game my senior year was like, oh man, I can't believe we
I wonder if
lost.
they still have those trophies up. Any of the trophies from way back when. I wonder if they even care to to keep those up.
Yeah,
Be
I don't
funny
know.
to look at. Probably plowed them under with a new skull.
Yeah. I
You
mean, it's so
know,
long. I mean, we're talking like, I mean,
a
this is
long
like the
time ago.
70s. I
Yeah,
mean, I graduated in 80. That's
yeah,
46 years ago,
I know.
which is shocking in itself. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I had to I had found out that because I got my scholarship in the javelin and because I could spear chuck. I could
Yeah,
let it.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah. And
I remember though that those things weren't very light.
no, they were. I mean, they were like 4 or 5 pounds.
Yeah, but that's not.
It was more controlling the tip. Like if you
Yeah,
let the tip go up or out, you were going to get hit in the back or the head.
yeah,
Either or. When you pulled it back, you had to keep that tip right by your eye and then let it fly.
yeah.
But so I was like, I just never, I moved to California, didn't pay attention, and I had to call my former coach, who I still keep in touch with. I talk to her once or twice a year, sometimes more. And I was just like, hey, is my record still standing? So I went to, I didn't really love it, but I was good at it. And so I think I threw about 156, 156 feet in college as a freshman.
Yeah.
And but then my back started bothering me and I really wanted to just play basketball. And anyway, so apparently that record held for 24 years from 1981.
Wow,
And it took a senior, and it's not that long ago that it got broken, but it took a senior to break it.
that's
So
awesome.
apparently, I still hold the freshman record in the javelin
Oh,
at the
good for
University of
you.
Rhode Island. And I was
Good
like,
for
wow.
you.
And just it was what it was, but it was I don't know. I felt like I was giving it everything I had, and they were like, oh no, you could throw 180. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like I
Yeah,
can't. And then
I bet.
as I got older, I realized, ooh, I was going to get a lot stronger. And yeah, I could have, because I ended up running into someone in San Francisco. It was after a softball game or something. I'm talking to this woman in this bar. We would all go out for drinks afterwards, and turn out she was on the Olympic team for the javelin, and she had placed like I don't know 10th or something. She was like 10th in the nation, and she had thrown 180. And I looked at, and I was just like, oh wow. I was like,
Yeah,
just talking to her, I was like, cool, But she loved it more than I did. I just
yeah,
was,
yeah.
it
You
was
like
just one of those
basketball,
things I could do without trying too hard.
right?
And
Yeah, and I bet with, well, of course, you were big into weight training back there
yes,
then. It wasn't like a requirement,
no,
like
I was
for
actually
girls.
ostracized for it. I was getting called all sorts of names.
Yeah, I do remember you telling me that, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But I don't ever remember. I remember seeing the weight room, but I never went into the weight room at like school.
Yeah. I could bench press 160 pounds, like
Wow.
multiple times. That
Yeah.
was more than I weighed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I
Ima-
was just strong. And
but
for my
but
body size, I was strong. Yeah.
imagine if we had that, like I said, these unrivaled players, these Paige Beckers, just in body type, arm size. If you looked at her in college and you look at her now, and it's been a short period of time, when you have the right training staff behind you at that
Well,
young
the other
age,
thing is that it is, now at the age of 63, my body is fine.
yeah,
I mean, I have a few little things that have, but for the most part, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. She's had like 15 surgeries and she's
ooh,
7 years younger than me.
yeah,
I have had one, and that was I blew out my knee pretty bad. And
yeah,
so I had ACL surgery, and that was 1999. That's the only surgery I've ever had. I've
yeah,
never had to, and my body is still fairly strong, nothing like it used to be. But then again, I don't, but that just having that base of weight training for years
yeah,
has served me well in older age. Like I got no problems with my body at all.
yeah.
I
Bone
mean,
density,
yeah.
yeah.
And I
No,
don't, I take vitamin D now, but that's because I had a checkup done, and I apparently you're supposed to be like 60 or something, whatever. I was a 12.
yeah,
She was like, oh my God, you have no vitamin D. She goes, you better do something. And I was just like, I feel strong.
yeah.
And she was like, no, 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 you need to start taking vitamin D, because they were doing it. It was a gynecologist, because there was, they were like finding low vitamin D as one of the things they're finding with breast cancer.
Precursor, right?
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't want that. And so ever since then, I've been taking a vitamin D pill every day. But
Yeah. That's what I'd say. Well, you get to a certain age, it's like, supplements A to Z, please. It's like your body depletes of all that. But when you're young, like these girls in Unrivaled, they have all the training staff that necessary
yeah,
to only grow in strength,
yeah.
endurance,
I mean,
speed.
we were taping our own ankles.
Exactly.
Taping I mean,
Exactly.
in college it was different, but I went to a Division I school, so we had a training staff there, and
Yeah.
it was interesting. When I got to college, I thought, oh, that maybe this is what I want to do, and I looked at how much schooling it would take for me to get that, and then I asked our trainers how much money they make, and I went, oh my God, that's like being a teacher. Like unless you are the head trainer at a big school, you are making crap money to do that. And I thought, I don't care. I didn't care so much about money, but I wanted enough to live. You know,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
can't like live on. I mean, teachers were making 20, $30,000. I'm like, eeks. Even in the
I
80s,
know.
I went, okay, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not living in poverty my whole life.
Right.
And
And yet the most, t- the best position for our kids is to have a great teacher. You would have been a
oh
great
yeah,
teacher.
I
So how
wish
do you
it paid more.
survive on that? I know.
It's sad that the teachers don't get paid more because it's one of the
Exactly.
most important
100%.
things.
Yeah, they got
You
your
know, we're having a
kids.
school here about to close. They're run out of funding.
Yeah.
One of the little schools here
We're gonna
is,
try to get rid of schools and go to everybody homeschool. Who's gonna stay home to homeschool the kids if both kids? Yeah, it's just okay. It's like whatever.
yeah,
Kids need adaptability and socialization, and that's the problem. Everybody's on their phone. Nobody has to talk face to face
yeah,
anymore. Did you happen to see that Kayla McBride suffered a torn
yeah, I
quad
did.
overseas?
Minnesota is not going to be the same team this
I'm
year.
like, oh my God.
They're
You know,
probably going to be missing Fee and McBride for most of the
absolutely.
season.
I'm
That's
like, that's
sad.
got to take a while. That stinks. But, they're pushing their bodies 24/7,
Well,
trying
look
to
at,
get.
I mean, put that in perspective with the draft coming up.
Mm,
Minnesota has the second pick. If you're
right.
missing Fee and you're missing McBride, who are you picking?
Yeah.
That's going to make a difference in who they're going to pick.
Yeah. Well, and
Who do
they
you think
really
they're
need,
going to take?
I don't know. They need a big, but
I think they're going to take Lauren Betts.
that'd be great.
I mean, she fits with Minnesota's times that when they won their championships, they had Sylvia Fowles.
Yeah. Gentle giant. No, they need a big.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm like, oh my, 'cause I thought the same thing you said. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's not good for Minnesota. Here
No, it
we
isn't.
go. You know? But who's on today for Unrivaled?
Breeze is playing, and let's see.
So
So
we
we
got
have
Beckers.
Lunar Owls play the Hive, so the bottom two teams
Ah,
play, and then the
yeah,
Laces and the Breeze. That's the
that'll
nightcap.
be good.
That should
That'll
be
be good.
very good.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
good
looking.
game.
I know. Looking for the L for Laverne and Lisa. Screw the laces.
With the
But anyway,
scoop, with the loop in there.
let's just
Remember
say
that
that
L for Laverne? And
absolutely.
Penny Marshall would be like,
Yeah, that was my favorite show. Cheryl, Cheryl. Oh my
yeah,
God, the
Penny
best.
Marshall was so great.
That's what happens. Now you get
Yeah.
shit TV. But anymho, at least you don't have to shovel today, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it
And
is.
whatever you do, do it good, and we'll regroup next week.
Okay.